Good afternoon. We are from DT10. Today we'll be learning about the superficial muscles of back of the forearm that are also called as the superficial extensors. In the lateral we have brachioradialis, which originates from the upper two-third of the lateral supercondyle ridge of the humerus, and it gets inserted into the lateral surface of the distal end of the radius above the styloid process. The nerve supply of brachioradialis is radial nerve, and the actions of brachioradialis helps in flexion of elbow joint, pronates the supinated forearm to mid-prone position, supinates the pronated forearm to mid-prone position. The next muscle is the extensor carpi radialis longus, which originates from the lower one-third of the lateral supracondyle ridge of humerus. It gets inserted into the lateral side of dorsal surface of base of second metacarpal bone. The nerves supplied to extensor carpi are radial nerve, and the action of it helps in acting the extensor carpi ulnaris extend the wrist, and flexi carpi radialis abducts the wrist. The next muscle is extensor carpi radialis brevis. This muscle originates by a common tendon from the lateral epicondyle of the humerus and lateral ligament of the elbow joint, and it gets inserted into the lateral side of dorsal surface of base of third metacarpal bone. The nerve supplies of extensor carpi radialis brevis is the posterior interosseous nerve before piercing the supinator. The next muscles are the posterior group, that are the extensor digitorum. It gets originated from a common tendon from the lateral epicondyle, and it gets inserted to give rise to the four tendons for the medial four digits. By the extensor expansion, it gets inserted into the dorsum of the middle of terminal phalanges. The nerve supply of extensor digitorum are posterior interosseous nerve. Actions of its help in extension of the medial four digits. It can also expand the wrist. The next muscle is extensor digiti minimi. It gets originated by a common tendon from the lateral epicondyle. It gets inserted into the medial to the tendon for the little finger. Through the extensor expansion, it is inserted to the dorsum of the middle and terminal phalanges of little finger. The nerve supply of it are posterior interosseous nerve. Its actions help in extension of little finger, helps in extension of the wrist. The next muscle is extensor carpi ulnaris. It gets originated by a common tendon from the lateral epicondyle by an aponeurosis from the upper total of posterior border of ulna. It gets inserted into the tubercle on the medial side of dorsal surface of base of fifth metacarpal. The nerve supply of it is the posterior interosseous nerve. Its actions help in acting the extensor carpi radialis. It extends the wrist. Acting the flexor carpi ulnaris, it adducts the wrist. The next muscle is anconeus. It gets originated from the back of lateral epicondyle by a separate tendon proximal to the common extensor tendon. It gets inserted to the lateral side of olecranon process on the upper 1/4 of the posterior surface of ulna. The nerve supplies to anconeus arises from the radial nerve in the spiral groove and descends to the medial head of triceps branchi, and the actions of it is the weak extension of the elbow joint.